This is one of my favourite stories, but as I tell this story, I don't have proof this is true, but please believe me, I'm going to find that proof. So you know when you're in high school, if you're in London, you get an Oyster card, right? I think people outside of London get Oyster cards. Like at one point when I was in foster care, I moved around a lot. And at one point I lived in Ewell and I had to pay for half the bus fare because I wasn't technically in London. But when I was living in London, I always got free travel under the age of 16. When I was 18, there was a scheme, I think it's still, sorry, if it still exists, just like ignore the way I'm talking, but there was a scheme that if you're still in education, you'd still get free travel. And I was in college when I was 18. So I had to apply for a free Oyster card because I was still in education. But when you applied, you had to send it to the college. So you make the application, send it to the college, and then the college send it to TfL as like proof that you are actually attending that college. And I was in college, I was in the IT room when I was filling out this form. And I was with my mates and we were fucking about. And I'm typing my name. I typed my real name onto this form, right? So my real name is Lauren. And you put your address and what college you're in. You know the drop-down box? You know when you say if you're a Mr. or a Mrs. or a Miss? On the drop-down box, I was just going to write Miss, because I'm a Miss. But there were all these other options like Doctor, Professor, and the best one, Reverend. So I selected Reverend. I made myself on this form have Reverend Lauren Parker. And I added an Instagram. For the picture, I used the picture for my Instagram where I was like, I hope it all gets accepted. And so I sent it off because I thought it'd be funny for the college. I knew the college admissions team. I knew they were the ones who were going to receive this Oyster card. So I thought, oh, it's just a funny joke for them. So after I sent that form off, Reverend Lauren with an Instagram picture, I then filled out a proper form and then forgot completely about it. A week later, I get pulled into the admissions office and they were like, you've sent us 2 forms. And I was like, oh yeah, sorry, it was an accident. Because I'm waiting for them to go, you know, Reverend. And they were like, okay, well, we'll just get rid of one of the forms and send the other one off since you've sent it twice. And at this point, I'm thinking, do they not realise the forms are different? Like the pictures are different, the name is different. And I just remember afterwards going to my friends and I was like, I hope they send the Reverend form. And they did. 2 weeks later, my Oyster card arrived in the post as Reverend Lauren. I was Reverend Lauren. And I've been searching all day for this Oyster card because obviously it's not an Oyster card I can use anymore. I'm too old. But I know I kept this Oyster card. I know I definitely kept it. I was walking around putting it on buses, Reverend Lauren. And to this day, I've been looking for it all day. I cannot find it. But when I find it, I will show you guys. My college let me be Reverend Lauren. And they didn't even notice. That's the thing, they didn't even notice. Didn't let me keep it because they thought it'd be funny. Because they were trying to be supportive and thought it was funny. They just genuinely didn't seem to notice that it was completely different. So from now on, I will only be accepting people to call me Reverend. If you do not call me Reverend, I will not respond.